Hello, everyone. I'm Yelena, your Cognos Analytics System Administrator. So tonight we're going to have our second session. So here is the agenda for tonight. Hopefully you can hear me, right? We're going to talk about dashboards and infographics. We're going to talk about stories and some fun part, the group work, right? So, and same that works the same way as it is for the last session. You will need to watch this recording more than once. Trust me, you will need to watch this recording more than once. Something similar that you did last time, right? Okay, now, as you may recall, we worked with claims and weather data. That data stores customer information, including the countries they live in, the state, right? And stores their type of insurance policy that they have, and also the accident information. Based on that, we're trying to predict what the total claim amount could be, right? So let's say your assignment 4, right, will be the continuation of assignment 3, right? In assignment 3, what you did was you built some predictive models, right? So, but assignment 4, you're gonna basically present your findings. But before we do that, we need to review what we did to pre-process our data, right? So this is just a quick recap. What we did was we created the embedded filter to filter rows that are missing effective to date. Remember that we did it last time. Then we created a selectable filter that allows us to analyze only cars that fall under personal policy and a small vehicle, right? Then also what we did was we handled missing values. Last time I showed you how to replace the missing income value with a column average, right? Then we did the same thing. I did the same thing for monthly, right? Premium value. And then in one of the videos, I showed you how to replace the missing claim reason with value called other, right? So claim reason, this is a categorical column. So I cannot just replace it with an average. I had to have some kind of like a placeholder, right? And then we also did some of the data groups, right? So this is just a review. This is what we did last time. Uh, Here you have a column called number of policies, and I just created the data group. This is just a summary, nothing else, right? So if you go back and look at the data, right? So this was a data module here. And the reason I did it in the data module is because last time we did data exploration. Right now, I'm going to do something else where I want to use this data as a source. And you don't want to keep on doing the same steps, right? Multiple times. You want to do it once and you want to reuse it. And there is something else that I did in here that I may or may not have mentioned in the slide is this. Look, total claim amount. If I look at this column properties, remember we talked about the aggregation. Aggregation is how our data is being summarized. I always want to look at the average, right? So what I did was in here, I changed it to average because I don't care about the sum of average of claim amounts. I want to look at the average claim amount, perhaps in the area or per accident type, if we will, right? So I did that, right? Then it's not listed on the slide, but what this is a standalone calculation where I calculate the average claim amount, and I'm not storing the value with each rows, right? Remember, in the video, I showed you two types of calculation. There is an embedded calculation where you add it as a column. Like in this example, I created, there is a column, annual premium, I think, yes. There was a monthly premium, and annual premium is monthly times 12, right? And this is the filter, right, that I can turn on and off, and etc., right? So basically what I did so far, nothing, I just went over with the summary. Okay, and what else we did last time? Let's close this. This is exactly what we did. This is a data exploration. right? So now let's take a look at this data exploration that we did. Take a look at this. Here, I have a set of cards, right? But is there some kind of like a relationship between these cards? Like if, for example, if it's possible to select a data point in one card and have the same data point to be selected on other cards? No, right? We cannot do it. We cannot apply the filter in one card and make it apply to the rest, right? There is no way to kind of like do any formatting. Like if I open this here, is there a way to change the colors? No. There is no way to format the title. There is no way to add shapes, no way to add text, right? So what we're gonna do? Well, look, data exploration, it's not ready to present. This is basically for you to quickly get insights, but this is not presentable. We need something else. And what else do we need in here? We need something that's called what? Well, dashboard, right? So let's take a look. This is my content, right? So this is a data module that we created last time, right? So what you do is this, you're gonna click here, and you're gonna click create dashboard, right? Ultimately, you could also do that, see this? What you see here, this is what you had recently accessed. You can also do it here, right? Create dashboard. So now, in here on next slide, I just listed this. So what we do, the whole idea is to create dashboard. You want to present what you learned about your data, and you take advantage of the layout, right? But the visualization on the same tab are linked, but the thing is you need to keep in mind the visualization must be built from the same data source, because you can use more than one data source to build the dashboard. But in order for visualizations to be linked, right, where you select one data point and the same data point selected in other visualizations, you need to make sure that the visualizations are from the same data source, right? So then dashboard can be in a view mode and edit mode, and I'll show you. And you may also add calculations if you like. However, any calculations that you add to the dashboard won't be available elsewhere. It will be visible only in a dashboard where you add it. You won't be able to reuse it in another dashboard perhaps, okay? Now, so we're gonna move on. This is what you do. You select and from context menu, right? You're gonna select to create dashboard, right? So that's one way to do it. There are different types of dashboards. One type is a tab dashboard. This is what we're gonna use, where you have multiple tabs, and each tab can have a different layout. Then you may apply filter to all visualizations on the same tab or across all tabs. Then while infographic is a long page, right? It's not broken into tab, it's a single page. But the reason we're actually using the tab, because there is a shortcut. For your assignment, you'll have to create a story. But I'm going to show you a little way to cheat. You may export your tab dashboard as a story. You won't be done. There'll be more steps to do, but at least you're not going to be starting from the beginning. Both of these are interactive, right? And you may use the predefined templates, and I'll show you, all right? So they have something in common, but they're different. Infographic, you cannot save it as you cannot export it into the story. And we'll talk about stories today, okay? So these are the templates. So basically, you may customize them, but take a look at this. So this one is a free form, right? And these are not, but the main difference is this ones. If it's not a free form, it's going to adjust based on your screen resolution. That one does not, okay? One thing to keep in mind is this. The more stuff you have on the page, the longer the page might take to load. So if you're presenting in a place where the network connection is not as good, right? Well, I would prefer staying with 2x2 usually. Because the more you put on the page, the harder it is to read, okay? I'm just gonna keep 2x2 now. Well, does something look familiar? What is this? Those are the columns in your data, right? And each icon determines, it tells you the column type, right? Remember, this is a selectable filter that you can use, and you can turn it on and off, right? So this is what is this? This is a standalone calculation, right? You have all of your calculations that you added earlier on. But you remember that we created a navigation path last time we did it in a data exploration. It's not available in here. Why? Because we didn't define it in a data module, right? If you want something to be available here, you need to define it in a data module. Important, you want to save it, always save it, right? So I'll click here. I know it's tempting, but you have to select my content, right? And I'm gonna call it claims dashboard, okay. Okay, now I'm gonna hit save. So you're gonna promise me that you're gonna save your work all the time, especially save it before you exit the session. I forgot to remind you, please don't use the browser back button because you may end up losing work. Okay, try to avoid it. Use the menu. It's nice and easy to navigate between what you have open. Okay, now, so here is just a summary for you. Here I just labeled each area, so let me explain. So here, those are the data fields, right? Okay, now here, what do you have here? This is the area where you specify the filters, and this area can be minimized, right? Now, what else you have in here? This is the assistant tool, the same tools that you used in a data exploration, right? It's the same thing. It's available here too. Here, this is different visualizations that we can add, and we'll do that. Now, here, this is a pins, and pins is nothing but like favorites. If you have a visualizations that you use a lot, you want to add it to the pins, right? And I'll show you how to do that. All right, and this button takes you back to the home page. So right now you're on the home page, and you can select this to return. Right, so now you're back to your dashboard. Remember, the dashboard has two modes. So if I go to the view mode, I cannot edit anymore. Right, if to edit it, I have to return to the edit mode. Right, so we're so far so good, right? So far should be good. Now, so now we're going to look at the dashboard properties. As a dashboard itself, it can have multiple tabs, right? You have tab 1, tab 2, I can select any layout. Here, this one here, this opens a property window, right? And I can, what properties I see depends on what I have selected. So here, I did not select any visualizations yet, but I can specify some of the properties for my tab. Like for example, if I want to, I can change the title color, right? That will change the tab title color. And then this one will do the selection color. So whatever tab is selected, it's gonna be underlined in green, right? And I have a bunch of other stuff that you can explore. There are a bunch of other properties, other options that I can leave up to you for exploration, okay? So that was just for this, for the tabs, right? Tabs properties itself. And remember, you can do different layouts, right? For each tab. And this is what you do to change the layout. You're gonna click here. And this one is to change the template. It's called template. This is to edit the title. And here, you will create a copy. See this? So here, and then I go in here, I'm going to edit this, perhaps like whatever I want to call it, right? I click on edit, and then it's going to be like tab 3, okay? So far, so good. Now, I'm going back to the first tab, and what we're going to do next is we're going to start adding stuff to this, right? So here, I showed you this, right? Well, there are multiple ways to add visualizations. As you may recall, you may use assistant, right? So this is similar to what we did last time. If I don't remember what I called my data, so here it is. This is claims and weather. Remember, those are the columns in my data, right? So if I want to, I can look at the total claim amount, right? Well, this is just a review in the same tool available here. And I can just do click on this monthly premium. So that's gonna give me different visualizations for total claim amount and monthly premium, right? I can just easily take one of these and drag and drop, right? I can do that, right? So here it is. But you need to, let me undo this. Watch how I do it. To make sure that it fits straight into this slot. Watch, I'm gonna drag this. You want to hover your mouse over that blue arrow, right? See that there is a blue arrow. If you hover your mouse over that blue arrow, it's gonna fit exactly the visualization into this slot, right? So here, when you click on this is called the focus mode, right? So here you're gonna see which columns are you using for visualization. Remember, those are called what? Slots. And if you see an asterisk, it means that the field is required. If you don't specify it, then you cannot do visualization, right? And if you want to, you can change columns, right, that are here. You can change if you'd like. But this is one way to do visualizations. Now, suppose that if I don't like it here, this is what I could do. I could copy this, for example, right? I can do Control X, right? Oops. Yeah, Control X will, oops. Or I can just do this. Look, I can do copy, I can do duplicate, right? I can do duplicate and then I can add here and then I can change columns, right? I can duplicate this if I wanted to, or if I don't like it, I can do delete, right? So this is what you can do in here. And then in here, show data, this shows you the data that is being visualized, right? This is something similar to what you saw in exploration, okay? You may edit the title, or this is just the select tool, okay? So just click, you can just select it and etc. Okay. So now suppose that I don't like it, I can go ahead and just delete it, right? Should be easy. Now, what else can we do in here? You can build visualization from scratch. Just simply go in here and you're gonna do select visualization. So this is just a pie chart, right? Now what we're gonna do, perhaps we want each segment to be the state, right? So here is the state. I'm gonna put it, each slice is gonna be the state, and the slice size, perhaps I want to do the number of customers. So I'm gonna do here, I can put customer, right? So here, this is what I see right now. Each slice is showing me the number of, well, how do I know if it's number of customers? If I go in here, I look at the summarize, count distinct. So, oh, okay, so it's gonna do count number of customers, not the number of claims, number of customers, because a customer may have multiple claims, right? So that's what it is. The difference is count distinct, it's gonna give me the number of customers. If I remove distinct, if I do just count, it's gonna do the number of claims because a customer may have multiple claims, okay? Well, now this is where the properties come in place. I select this visualization, right? I'm gonna go, here are my properties, right? This is properties. Well, what I could do is this. This is a chart. The properties of this, I can display the percentages, right? Well, instead of numbers, I can show percentages. We cannot see it right now because you have to close this panel. Well, see this now, it's showing the percentages. Then I want to show it like a donut. I have this option, right? Well, and etc. You can show hide label and etc. Okay, those are the properties that you can change. Well, and there are some general properties. This is just going to control the appearance. Like for example, if I want to show the border, I can, and you can do the fill color, etc. And you can do the show title if you want to. And then you're gonna enter your title. So that's gonna be what? Perhaps a percentage of customers, right? Okay, so this shows you the percentage of customers in each state. Well, as you can see, most of the customers live in where? Missouri, right? So sometimes perhaps you can do analysis by state, right? If I have more visualizations, when I select the state in one visualization, I'm gonna have the state selected in the other visualization, something like that, right? So here I'm showing this is a percentage of customers, right? What else we could do is, well, here I built visualization from scratch. Well, alternatively, I can go back. Well, first we save. Then we're gonna go back to here. This is a exploration that we created last time. I can go into this exploration. Okay, this is nothing but what we created last time, right? I can pick any visualizations from last time. So what is this? Oh, this is the average claim amount by policy type, right? Well, suppose this is something that I want to use it, right? I want to use it in my dashboard. This is what I can do. This is a pin. Pin is nothing but a bookmark. And I created a video on pins, how to search them, etc. So now it says processing pin. Okay, so here it is. Now, if you look at the pins in here, it's going to be the same list of pins as you will see that when you click on this in a dashboard, right? So those are, well, another way to call it maybe the bookmarks, right? Then if you delete the data source, okay, that was used to build the visualization, pin becomes invalid. So just keep that in mind. And see here, you can search for your pins here, right? Because with time, you're gonna get more of them, right? So you can do the search. And I discussed the search in details in the video. Another thing to keep in mind is this. Depending on where you edit the pin, it may lose some of the properties. And I did the demo in a video. I showed you. And when you try to reuse the pin, you create the pin in the dashboard. And when you try to use it in exploration, you may lose some of the properties because in exploration, you cannot specify the text, you cannot specify the colors, etc. Right? You don't have this flexibility. Well, okay, so I added this to the pin, right? And I can go in and I can add more stuff. So see, remember those are the cards. Well, here, this is a data, this is a driver analysis. And this is what you're gonna do in your assignment also. You're gonna create a pin, right? And it's gonna add this to the favorites. And see, well here, well, this is a total claim amount by marital status. I can go ahead and add that too, right? You add anything that you think you might need to use in your visualization, right? Right now, I have not done anything. I just added the pins. Now I'm going to go back. This is my dashboard. How am I going to reuse the pin? Well, here, those are the pins that I have. And I can just go ahead and I can drag and drop here. Okay, I can just drag and drop. And what it did, it just added the visualization. See this? Okay. And I can add more properties to it. Okay. So now I'm gonna add a few more stuff. And let's do this. I'm gonna add this again. Right? I'm gonna add this again. And I'll show you the reason later. Oops, what did I do? Let's delete this. See, I did something stupid, if you will. I'm just gonna do undo, okay? Because I have not saved it yet. I can do undo. Okay, now I'm gonna save. Oh, this is this. It's because I tried to add invalid pin. That's why I got this error. I tried to add a pin that does not exist. So just to make sure that we don't get confused, I'm going to go ahead and delete the pins that don't exist anymore. This is how you delete the pin. But beware, once you remove the pin, you know, well, you're not deleting the visualization, but you're deleting the bookmark. Okay, you're not deleting the visualization. Remember that. So here, this is just showing the percentage of customers by state. This is the total claim amount by policy type, right? So let's do something else. And perhaps we can do, let's say, okay, so I added this from the pin. How else can I add visualizations? I can do this little assistant, right? Or I can just go in and drag and drop the column straight, right? So this is the data source, right? Now I can just go ahead and do straight when I add the state. What's going to happen when I add the state? It's going to do the map because it's going to try to, well, it's going to attempt to at least predict, well, it's going to determine the best visualizations based on data types, right? Now I can click here and I can specify, well, since I have a state and location color code, perhaps I want to do the average claim amount, right? So, or total claim amount, right? Suppose that I don't see my column, I can just search for it, or I can just, well, here, this is where you would search for the column, right? Total, it's here, total claim amount. I can drag and drop. So this is going to be, location is going to be relative total claim amount, okay? So here it is. Well, here I'm looking at the states, right? And I could also do, well, if I wanted to, well, so here it is. I could do another visualization totally from scratch, or I can just reuse one of my pins, right? So let's save this. Let's see what I'm doing in slides. I try to stay consistent with the slides, but sometimes it's not possible, okay? Well, here I'm also doing the heat map. Okay, so this is just basically showing you what different properties you have. The visualization properties depend on a visualization type that you select, right? So here I'm just doing policy type and total claim amount, right? But in here, yes, so this is something like that. See this? This is policy type and total claim amount, and you can do this visualization differently. But why am I seeing this field? Okay, let me see what's happening. Oh, the colors. Oh, yes, the colors can be changed. Excellent questions. Well, yes, the colors can be changed. This is what we do. We're gonna click in here, and we're gonna go to this is the properties, right? I can open up the properties panel, and colors is gonna be, see, this is a chart, and the chart is gonna be, yes, there are colors. Maybe it's in the general. Well, see this here, general appearance. And well, this is just the border color. There is a color scheme, I'll find it. Visualization and the chart, and then there should be, trust me. Region layer, here it is. Region layer, this is a, I can do change heat palette, and I can do this, okay? I hope I answered the question. Well, see that this is a different palette, I changed this, all right? Or you can actually also click here. Well, you can duplicate it and you can edit. You can define your own colors. But I just added the system color for right now, right? So this is just the state, okay? Did I answer the questions? Oh, can the colors be set to match the colors from top to top? Well, you would have to, well, this is an excellent question. Not sure. Well, sometimes, let's see what happens if you select, well, you can set the background from top to top, or you can explicitly, let's see what happens if you select multiple visualizations. If you select multiple visualization, you might be able to, or may not. You would have to probably change it a visualization at a time. That's a good question. Okay, for example, the state, can colors be set to match? Okay, for example, the state, okay. Oh, if you do the state, oh, okay, I see. So if you do the same visualization on the top three, Well, you can just basically do the copy and paste. I would do copy and paste. You have this visualization, right? You can just do duplicate, and then you could move it to another tab. So how do you move it to another tab? Let's say this. Look, I take this, I highlight it, tab 3. I go to tab 3. There it is. Well, I just did the copy. That's one way to do it. You can just do the copy. Okay, you created one, then you do the copy, and then you edit this as you need. This is what I know. Hope I answered the question. Because, yeah, there is more than one way to do something. Okay, for example, the state, how do I make, I'm sorry, I'm trying to understand the question. So you want to, I'm trying to follow the question. Can the colors be set to match the colors from top to top? For example, okay, the step in tab 1, I'm trying to follow. Okay, go ahead. You can unmute yourself to explain. Go ahead, you can temporarily unmute yourself to explain if you'd like.
Okay, so in tab 1, there was 5 states listed.
Okay.
I don't remember what, so, okay. How do I make in tab 3, those states match the color that are in tab 1? So for example, Missouri is blue, or Iowa is red, or Nebraska is yellow. How do I make Nebraska yellow in tab 3 and in Iowa red and Missouri blue?
You would use the same color scheme. You would need to define custom color scheme.
Okay.
Yeah, because if you look at the color schemes, if you look at this here,
Can you,
yeah.
can you show us how to do that specifically with this example?
Okay, we could try. We could try. So here, this is a color. And well, if it does not work, then I'll need to get back to you, but we'll see. So it's in here, the appearance, right? Okay, visualization, where did that? Hold on. It's not the axis, this is a chart, right? Chart, and I can do, I thought I just changed the color. Visualization, okay, so here, this is a chart, and I can do, so style, I set it to default, right? Oh, you could also, oh, this changes the oh, okay, okay. Yeah, exactly. I don't think you can do to do consistent. You would have to define the color scheme, I think, and then you could reuse that across the board. So what did I do? I just saw it. Appearance. No, it's not an appearance, but there, somewhere I changed the color. Visualization, maybe it's in the visualization. Let's minimize this chart. And then I thought, how did it change? Oh, here it is. Well, this is a color palette, right? I can do this, create custom heat palette. Well, there we go. And I can do, yeah, because see, I have not done it before, but you can create a custom, palette here. So let's see, red, then I can add, oops. Well, you would need to basically create a custom heat palette, okay? So I would have to play with it. I have not done this before, but so here, this is a palette name, perhaps. Let's see, my colors, right? My colors. This is a custom palette, and then you would need to do, so for example, this is one color, right? Oh, here's a plus, add. I can add another color. See this? Then I can do another plus, add another color. See this? So this is a custom palette that I'm creating right now. And then I can do I can add another color here. This is gonna be like green. I can do save, right? And then there we go. This is a custom palette that I applied. And then I go back to the top 3 and I'm going to select this and I'm gonna apply the same palette in here. See this? If you look here, there should be the same one, right? Where is it? I just saw it. Okay. It's in the chart. And I believe I just created it. See this? It's not in, oh, okay, here it is. and somewhere I can select the palette that I just added. I believe I saved it, right? So change the heat palette, and then I should see the ones that I just created. Not sure where it is. Oh, custom. It should be under custom. See this? This is a custom column, the custom palette that I just created, and I can select it. That's it. Okay, I hope it makes sense. Too much work? Well, yeah, you would have to do trial and error, that's right. But I guess this is how to do it. Excellent, I learned something new today too. Okay, so, well, yeah, that's basically just an idea. You can define your own color palettes, okay? So you can define your own color palettes. That's the whole idea here. So this is step 3, right? I have a copy of this. Let's minimize it. No, that was an excellent question. You can play with visualizations. You can define their own properties, if you will. So right now we are back to the first step, right? And what I was trying to tell. So, oh, that's interesting. I changed the way you visualize this. Okay, so now here, this is showing percentage of customers by state. And here we've got the states. And let me duplicate this. And you'll see why in a minute. So I click on that. Oops. Oh, I added this from I added it from the bookmarks. So I can go back here and I can add this again, right? Can't I? Yes, I can. Okay. So now you're gonna see what's gonna happen here. If I select one state here, right? I just selected one state, and it's supposed to select all the same state across the board. See this? If I select one state, Missouri, it's supposed to select Missouri in this area as well. Or if I select here, make this selection, right? If I selected Oklahoma, it's supposed to adjust all my data to Oklahoma, right? Well, when I select one data point in one visualization, right? Because these visualizations are using the same data source, it should adjust to the same data point, right? Or like here, see this, if I select this to personal only to special author, it should do the same selection across the board. Not sure why it's not cooperating today. Okay, so here it is, right? If I filter it, it's supposed to select the same data point across the board, right? So, so let me use a different example then. Something is going on. What I did for you, I created another dashboard, and I created it before this session just in case. So this is another dashboard that I created for you. My content. This is the claims car insurance dashboard. This is another dashboard that I created for you. So, well, here, see this? This is showing you the average, total average claim amount, right? And this is showing it by different car, right? This is different policy plan. And here it's showing by accident type, right? And here it's just showing you by the vehicle class and education, right? Here is just showing you the distribution, claims by state, by vehicle class, and etc., right? This is a model, and this is a average claim per location. So maybe it will be easier to use this here. So basically, when I select one state in here, I selected one state in here, it's gonna select one state in all visualizations on the same tab, right? The visualization on the same tab are connected. So I'm showing the visualization here for the states, and this visualization is also for the states, right? But it's gonna show this is a number of customers, and I'm also using a different color code for gender. I selected a state, and the same state was selected in all visualizations. Why is that? Well, it's because if I click here, this is a link. Notice that all visualizations are linked to the same group, right? So when I click here, it should show me, this is a group. It should show me that all visualizations, view widget connections, all of them are connected. Not sure why it's not showing me number one now. Oh, because I have this selected, okay? So all of these are connected in the same group. But what I could do is oh, I see what's going on. And the reason is I need to go into the edit mode. So right now I'm in the edit mode, right? I'm in the edit mode. So right now I'm gonna click here and I see that all of these guys here belong to the same group, right? So that's why when I select the state in one visualization, it's gonna select the same state in all visualizations, okay? Yes, it's a group by default. Yes, 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 yes. By default, it's gonna be like this. Yes, by default. Also, only if I use the same data as a source to build this, right? I use the same data source for all of this, right? Now what I could do is I could go here. I can select this guy right here, and I can split it from the group. There we go. I can split this from the group. I could also go take this one here, and what I could do is this. I can do add to existing connection, and I can add it to the second group. So what's gonna be right now? Right now, when I select the state in here, right, I select the different, when I select, oh, I have to unclick this. When I select the different state here, so I see this, I have candles selected. I selected in the first two, but it did not get selected in the last two. Okay, I could select another state, perhaps like if I want to do Iowa, the same data point is selected in here, but it is not selected here. One time when you would like to do it, sometimes you want to do the data comparison perhaps. So in the first two, you select one state, and the bottom two, you select another state, and you compare the data. That's one way. Okay, that's one reason. So now I'm gonna go back here and I'm gonna reconnect these two, okay? So you saw that the widgets can be connected. You select data point and it's gonna do, it's gonna, okay, add to existing, okay? So you select one data point and it's gonna select one data point across the board, if you will, on the same tab, right? Add to existing connection, okay. I restored what I had, right? I restored it, let's say, okay? So now let's see what else I have on the first page. This is a title page, right? I have the text. Oh, do I need to be looking at I need to be in edit mode, right? Okay, well, what is this? This is just the text, right? It's in here, and I have another video where I show you how to do the text properties, right? So you go to in here, you need to go to your so you've got this one, this is a visualizations. There is another tab called widgets. I'm not sure why I see this. I was not supposed to see this because right now I'm have this open, right? So that's weird. Oh, here it is. Well, those are the widgets, right? I can add my text, right? So this is a text. And what is in the text box? I have the properties such as I can change the font size, right? Edit. Okay, this is the edit mode. Well, so see here, this is a text box. And if I click, if I go back, if I click on my text properties, right? What you could do is you could just change the appearance. See this? I click here, text details, text color, etc., alignment, and you can do the same thing on this on the toolbar. Okay. For images, you don't copy and paste image directly. You can just specify the image URL. And since this has come up, in data 650 also, people were not sure how to find the URL link. So I can show you this. Let's say I'm looking for the picture of the car, right? Let's just do this. Look, I'm going to images. I found the pictures that I want to take, right? This is a picture. What you need to do is in the Google Chrome browser, you can right click And then you can do copy image address. So if you do copy image address, it's going to get the URL of this image, okay? This is how you would do it. It's not the page where the image is located. You need to copy image address because you want to make sure that this ends with PNG or .gpg, something like that, okay? So I showed you that because even 650 students, they're not sure how to get this, okay? So it could be view image link or view image source. It depends on browser you're using, okay? Well, this is not copy paste the picture, it just copy paste here in the properties, you specify the link. And in the video, I showed you how to add links to the videos as well, okay? Oh, you cannot add an image from PC, sorry. You can add image only that is on the web, and you must specify the web address, okay? We cannot add an image from PC, unfortunately, no. Okay, well, this is just showing, this tab is just showing average claim amount. Basically, what I was saying before, that I can split my visualizations into tabs, so that way it's a way of organizing my presentation, if you will, right? Oh, I need to unselect this. Today I'm clicking on things. Okay, so this is just the average claim by region, and now I need to unfilter it. Okay, let me unfilter it, come on. Well, sometimes things have bad days, huh? Okay, so now, so this is one way you filter, you select the data point. Another way to do filter is just to define it here. So let's say, okay, let's see. Those are my claims and weather distributions, and I'm doing it by state, right? So let's say I want to add a state filter. I'm gonna go in here, this is my data. Okay, I need to find the columns that I want to use as a filter. And in this case, well, state. I'm bad at finding stuff, so I'll just type this here. Oh, here it is. This is a state. I'm gonna drag and drop all tabs. So what is expected behavior? When I select Iowa in here, I'm supposed to see just the Iowa, right? Well, this is gonna take some time to apply, but I'm expected to see it only Iowa. Well, here just got adjusted because I'm showing this distribution by education, right? So if I go back, those are just the models, right? This is assignment 3, my imaginary assignment 3. Okay, well, see this is a claim by location. I only see the state that I selected. And why? Because I applied the filter to all tabs. And see it, I see my filter here, okay? Now I'm gonna go back to here. Well, I can do it anywhere. I can delete this filter from anywhere, okay? You saw what was happening when I applied the filter. I'm going back here now, and I'm gonna do that again, but at this time, I'm gonna do it here. What's gonna happen right now? Watch what's gonna happen right now. I applied the Iowa filter. My data got filtered here, but nothing happened in here. Oh, well, see this? Why it did not happen here? Because where did I apply the filter? I put the filter to the top. Here, this is different. I had something selected, right? I had to unselect it. It's because here I had the data point selected. I have to unselect it. So see this? Over here, I see all states. And on the other hand, when I go back to this one here, I see only what the state that I selected, right? And I can do this. Okay, well, one thing is to remember, if you do the difference between clear filter will remove the criteria from the filter, and delete filter will delete filter all the way. Okay, so hopefully we are good so far, right? Oh, and for this one, if you look at the data by location, I did a little bit more in here because you can use the points. Well, you can, for each state, I wanted to specify that the size of the data point is going to be the number of customers. So see this, you can visualize multiple columns because The color of the state is a relative total claim amount. The size of the data point is a relative number of customers, and the color of the data point is a relative annual premium amount. An annual premium amount is a calculated column. Remember, we had an original column called monthly premium, and this is just a monthly premium multiplied by 12. So I can use my calculated columns here in the visualization. This is a map, and map allows you to visualize more than I showed you before, right? Okay, so this is a map, and I've got different, because last time when we looked at the bar plots, I did not show you the properties such as stock bar plot, right? So if we click here, I just did more. You have to specify color by. If you do color by gender, it's just gonna do the stock bar plot in here. See this? So I'm using more advanced properties in here because this is our session, what? Advanced, right? This is our advanced session. We study more stuff in here. And again, you can select visualization and you can see the data that is being visualized. You have it here, right? Okay, so now let's go back to the slide. I don't necessarily follow the slides, although I try. Well, here I'm showing the visualization properties, right? This is how you add the text widget. You just drag and drop the widgets and add text, right? And I created the whole video on widgets to show you more stuff. Add an image. Remember, you cannot add an image from your PC, unfortunately, unless you have a public web page where that image is stored. You have to put image URL, right? And same thing, you can add a video, you put video URL and a web page URL, right? Okay, well, here it shows you visualizations are linked and I use different example, but it's the same thing. Okay, now, one thing that is missing, not one thing, but multiple things that are missing here is that, can I do animation? No, I cannot, right? Can I specify when things appear, disappear? No, I cannot, right? So basically I have to explicitly click on each tab to navigate. And I'm assuming the tabs are in the right order that I want to see them, right? I cannot specify the duration of each tab, right? So I cannot add that visual effect, if you will, right? So that takes us, it leads into the new part. It's a story. What is this? Well, story, depending on which layout you choose. If you choose a slideshow, that's basically something similar to the PowerPoint. And you specify when shapes, images, and things when they appear. You may create a brand new story, just selecting the new from the menu and then specifying the data source, right? And you can just do it from the very beginning and all of the visualizations, etc. But this is kind of like too much work, right? Or you can also export your dashboard as a story and use it as a starter. This is what we're gonna do right now. But when you do it, you want to make sure that you're absolutely ready, right? Because after you export it, any change you make to this dashboard are not gonna be applicable to the story, okay? Dashboard here, it consists of what tabs. The story will consist of scenes, right? Each tab will become a scene. We're going to define the transitions between scene. We're going to define the duration for each scene. And when scene objects become visible or hidden, right? So what I'm going to do here is, first I saved it. And we remember how to check if the last change was saved. Then you're not going to see this asterisk in here. Same applies, right? Now a little housekeeping, you can close this panel if you like. Okay, so here I'm gonna do this. Notice this third option, save as a story. And I need to select what type of story I want. Let's do the slideshow for right now. And I'm gonna click on select. Well, the difference is that the slide, whether it's using the same or different canvas, okay? So let's do select right now. I'm going to select my content. I know it's tempting to select what you don't want to do. It's tempting to select the team folder, but if you do that, you're going to get an error, permission error, because you cannot save anything to the common area. For assignment 5, you will have a designated group area. I'll show you that. Okay, but for right now, my content, okay, you can save it in your content, or if you have a subfolder in your content, you can save it in that subfolder too. And then I want to save it. I want to open it. By default, the name is going to be your dashboard name prefixed with the word story. Okay, let's go ahead and save this. Well, this is what I have right now. Each tab became what? A scene. Notice this is how I labeled the tab, right? So each tab is now a scene, right? There we go. This is what I have, but I'm not limited to the scenes, right? I'm not limited. If I wanted to, I can always add more scenes, and each scene I can specify the different template, right? If I want to. Well, so you're not limited to the 5 scenes. I'm just using 5 scenes in this example, okay? So let's see. And notice that I've answered a lot of your assignment question. I did not put a label. This is a question number 1A. This is question number 1B. But I did answer a lot of your questions have been answered here during the presentation. What I did, I just did not put the question label next to an answer, okay? So just remember the story, what is it? It's a narrative, right? It's all about storytelling. Tell me a story, okay? You may do same thing, add visualizations, right? You may add images, widgets. You may apply filters, and this is you can apply the filters to all scenes, right? You may add new visualizations. All of this that you had in your dashboard is available here, okay? But there are additional features that we're going to talk about that were not available in well, first of all, this is a transition style, right? This one, the style that we selected right now, this is a slideshow, which means that each scene will show on a different canvas. And the guided journey, you're gonna have each scene will appear on the same canvas, and you define you can customize the transition, right? You may also add animations, right? You may change the scene duration, and I'll show you this. Okay, so here it is. Here comes scene duration. Look at this. I click on this scene, and I'm gonna click on this. What is this? Every object in here, this is a timeline. Every object is represented as a bar on the timeline. If I drag and drop this edge of the bar, I'm adjusting when my object becomes visible. Well, see this? This is a second object. I no longer see it because it won't be visible when I start playing this scene, okay? Now what I can do? Right now, I'm ending at 5 seconds. If I go click here and if I extend this edge past 5 seconds, I'm changing the duration of my scene, right? So here it is. I've got it now, what, more than 6 seconds, right? Okay, and at this point, this is the only thing that will be visible. So I'm thinking about the better way to show you. Okay, so what I did, I minimize this. Okay, so here are the 4, right? And I'm gonna play this. See, this one is not visible right now, but look, here's the timeline, visible, and then all of these 3 will disappear, this one stays, and duration is more than 5 seconds, okay? Well, that might sound easy, but when you put things together, you know. And again, visualization, you can see the data being visualized. This is called data tray. Sorry, I'm a vocabulary stickler. So here it's showing you the visualization that is being visualized, education and the average claim amount, right? Okay, things good so far. Okay, so now I showed you the timeline, right? And this is how you exit this view. This is a timeline. Now let's see. And I will show you guided journey also. We'll look at that too. But first thing first, so this is just showing you the elements, right? It's just showing you the elements that I discussed. You have, each scene has the objects, right? Scene objects of visualizations and text, shapes, etc. that you could add, right? And you may also change properties, and you may use those pins as well. Remember how we added the visualizations to pin? Pin is nothing but favorite, right? You can reuse a visualization. And also note is this, if you go back to here, well, see this, you have this assistant guy here. And remember what we did? We did something when we had another visualization open, we had the dashboard open. All of your searches here are still visible. You can still see them in a story because I did not clear them. Okay, here are all your pins. You should see them still here. And if you were creating the new one, new scene from scratch, you could add visualizations from here. So everything is here. This is the data. Same thing applies. Well, remember this, you also have the calculation. Why do you see the calculation? It's because I defined it in data module, right? Last time we created the navigation path, but we did not create it in the data module, we created in exploration. So here I don't see it, right? If I wanted to see it here, I should have created it in the data module, right? So anything that's not created in the data module won't be available. Makes sense? I hope it does. Well, sometimes things start making sense when we start working on them. Okay, well, this is just showing you how to adjust the timeline. And I just showed you that, right? So, okay, this is the steps to extract dashboard as a story. Not sure if this is out of order, but anyhow, yeah, I may need to look at this slide. It might be a little bit out of order. Okay, so basically what this is showing here is that when you export dashboard as a story, every tab becomes the scene, and even the names are going to be the same. Tab name is going to be the scene name, right? It just inherits, but you may edit. But the thing is, remember this, any change that you apply to the dashboard after you export it as a story won't be applicable to the story. They're not synchronized, okay? Just remember that. So you want to make sure that you're totally ready, okay? Oh, and I need to show you the guided. So this is edit mode and view mode, right? So when I click here, right now I'm in a view mode, and I can change this to play all scenes, right? Well, so right now I'm on the first scene, and when I play this is how you play all scenes. But what I did not do is I did not define my transition. Oh, look at this. What is this? What's happening? It's because I earlier specify when I want this part to be visible, and I change the scene duration, right? So those are, this is my imaginary assignment 3. Okay, so I've got 5 tabs and I'm just playing them right now. Okay, good. Now what we'll do, let's go back to edit mode, and we're gonna play around with more properties here. Well, I click on the properties here, and I can do change the scene transition, and I can do this animated pause, save, right? Go back to preview mode, and I'm gonna play. Oh, I have to go back to the scene 1. Well, so this is just, well, I have to go back to very beginning. Okay, I need to start from scene 1. This is scene 5, right? Oh, previous. Look, now I'm in the scene 1. Let's see, look what's happening now. It's gonna show you how it just transition defines how these things change, right? Well, you cannot really see anything here because you need to, it's very easy to see when you do the guided journey, okay? So now let's go back here. Properties, oh, you can't, you need to be in the edit mode. Okay, I need to be in the edit mode. And now I'm gonna go back to property. I can also do the sweep, okay? Let's see if it does anything. Guided journey was very well. Okay, so I saved this, right? I saved this. Now I'm gonna minimize this. I saved it. Now I need to go back to the very first. I need to go back to the very first slide, okay? And I need to play it from the beginning. So here it is. I'm on the first slide now, and I need to be in a. I'm going to the view mode. This is a view mode, right? If I see the filters panel that I'm not in the view mode, scene one. Let's see, I hit play. Transition basically says how we're gonna change the first to the next. See this? So this is what I did. This is a transition type that I defined. See this? Okay. See this? This is a transition. This is basically the way this slide changes to the next. And each slide is on a different canvas, right? Now if I end this, stop this, I go to the edit mode. And now what I'll do is I'm gonna go in here, properties, and I'm gonna switch to guided journey, right? And then I can select the layout. Okay, so this is perhaps I want this layout. Okay, this is my layout. And I can also do this in transition if you want, right? Okay, show this one, will help you show all things at the top, on the start, and show us things at the end. Because when you submit it, well, this is what you can do. You can take, you have to show somehow, you have to show what you're submitting as a story, right? Somehow you can take the screenshot. You would need to play around with the zoom and then make it fit all on one page. I was able to get this before. Oh, this is how you do it. You need to click here. When you click here, see this, you can see all of your things, right? So somehow in your paper, you have to prove that you created a story, right? So this is a screenshot. This would show that I have some of my, I have 4 scenes, right? And roughly would show what I have on each scene. So this is one way. You have to show that you have a story somehow, okay? So maybe this is one way to do it, okay? For assignment 4 at least. For assignment 5, you're gonna be creating a presentation. Yeah, so this is excellent opportunity for you to practice your presentation skills, because that's how it is in the work today. You need to be able to present your findings, not just write them, right? Okay, now let's go. But you will be playing around with the Zoom as you're taking a screenshot, trust me. Oh, this is even better, see this? Okay, now, and you can do the preview, but you have to be in the preview mode. Okay, this is edit mode. If you see this part at the bottom, then you're not in the preview mode. This is a preview, and you can just play it. See what's gonna happen. This is showing the first thing, right? This is gonna do. See this transition still apply, right? I specified the duration. I specify when I want to see things, etc. Nothing happens on the rest of the scene because I did not specify what's supposed to happen. Okay. So let's see, did we get to the fun part? Fun, but not at the expense of doing the work. Oh, samples. We're gonna look at the samples next. Okay, oh, I did not save this. Why does it say I did not save the last change? Okay, now let's go back. This is I'm now at the welcome page, right? Okay, if you go to the team content, which you have not used much, you have, but not much, this folder was pre-installed. Click here. It's not something that you're going to submit for assignment, but sometimes it's a good idea to look at what can be done. It will give you idea on what you could do for your assignment. See this, for example, this is a California website visit. You can click on that and see what they did. See this, it's kind of like taking a little bit of time to load. And also consider the fact that I have fast internet connection, but sometimes it's not an option in a presentation room. So the more stuff you have here, the longer it's gonna take to load. Okay. So this is just for you, you can preview it. And you have the same permissions as this demo user. You are able to view this and to play around with this because you have a run permission on this. You have a run permission for all of the dashboards and stories. Run is a little bit more than read. Run permission allows you to view, to preview, but you cannot edit, okay? So let's close this one. And you also have the sample stories. This is in the samples. This Scrum here, it shows you where you currently are in the tree, in the tree structure. These are sample stories. You can look up. You can check the sample stories. You won't be able to make any changes. To make a change, you would need to save the story as a copy to your folder, right? And you remember how you saved something as a copy from team folder? Yes, you did this. You did this assignment data. Remember, you have your this here data for assignments, right? You save the copy of the files into your area before, right? So for assignment 4, you're gonna use the same data as you use for assignment 3. It's a continuation because you might reuse the visualizations that you did, right? In order to build the dashboard, and you add new visualizations as well. Assignment 5 will be a different story. First of all, you know where to get the data, right? The data is same location. Data for assignment, assignment 5. For assignment 5, you're gonna have 5 data set choices. The data is a little bit more complex, and I believe a couple data sets have missing values. Life expectancy and US news. US news, it's actually a real data, and it's looking at the percentage of the college graduation rate, right? This is the college graduation rate. This one is on an earthquake magnitude, right? And etc. Well, challenge yourself, go for the one with missing values. Oh, it's up to the group. So you're gonna look at this and you're gonna pick, right? So what I do recommend is this. You're gonna be assigned to groups and you will be instructed which group you belong. As soon as your instructor creates a group in Leo, she's gonna send me the assignment, right? Who belongs to which group, and I'm gonna create the teams. I'm gonna create the folders in here in Cognos. But for right now, let's assume that I have do I still save this screenshot? Yes. So let's assume that I have 2 users. This demo user is enrolled in Professor Moreda's session 9080 and was assigned to the team was assigned to the team 1. Let's assume. So there are 2 demo users who were assigned to the team 1. So somewhere behind the scene, you don't need to worry about it, but I'm just showing you that somewhere there is a configuration for team 1, right, in Professor Moreda's session, and those are the members of team 1. See, as you have demo and demo 2. Right now I'm logged in as a demo 2, right? And I should be able, my teammates should be able to see anything that I put in a folder designated for the group, right? So just assume I'm Professor Moreda's student right now, okay? Not an administrator anymore, just for a quick second. Okay, so how do I see the team folder? You go to the team content, right? This will appear, assignment 5 group work. You're gonna see this, click on it. This is a semester that you're taking a course. Right now is a fall, right? And in fact, in Leo, at the very top, if you look it up, you're gonna see the semester and you're also gonna see your session. So this is a fall. Unless you're repeating the course, you should not see summer, okay? You should see the fall, okay? So the teams are going to be the same, the way they're listed in Leo. Yes, they are going to be the same, but for a moment, just for the demonstration purposes, I added 2 demo users that are going to be members of team 1. They're going to be, the team assignment is gonna match, because what I will do is, I'm gonna do the same team membership. I already created the teams, but I just have not added you as members. So, okay, I mean, I created the team configuration, but what I'll need to do is add members The way it's done is that you create the configuration, you create the group, you add permissions to the group, and then you add members. Okay, oh, they're not assigned yet. Okay, okay, I did not know that. Okay, no problem. But what is going to happen is that at some point by end of week 9, that will be ready, right? But for right now, let's assume that I'm a user and this is my session, right? What I'm going to see, this is a session I'm in, and it's gonna match the session name at the top, Leo. This is the team I'm in. Let's just assume that instructor assigned me to the team. Right? I click on it, it's empty right now, empty folder, okay? I'm just assuming me and the other person. And okay, so it's gonna be like this. So what you will do, you're gonna assign each team, you're gonna select one person who is a leader, team leader. What team leader will do is after you agree which data you want to work with, the team leader is gonna go to here. This is the data, right? This is the assignment 5. Just for example, suppose that you decided to work with the cars data. What your team leader will do is this. You're gonna select this, you're gonna do copy or move, and you want to copy it, but where do you want to copy it? Look, this time is different. You're not gonna be copying to the personal folder. You're gonna go team content, right? You're gonna do assignment 5 group work, okay? And notice that at the moment, the copy button is grayed out. That's correct, because you cannot write to the folder called fall, okay? It's not your designated folder. You go inside, this is still correct because you cannot write something. You cannot write something in a, general folder for the fall. You have to go inside your folder for the team, okay? Now be careful, you're not gonna be able to move to, because secretly move to delete the file from original location. You don't have permission, you don't have write permission for the folder with data sets, that you won't be able to do it. What you will be able to do is that copy to, okay? Now, how do you access this? You go back to the team content. Here, this shows you the positions that you're in now. This is like, in Windows, perhaps, it shows you the folder you're currently at. And then this is, you go back, right? You go back. Assignment 5 group work, semester. Well, this is a session, right? I'm gonna be a team leader. So what I'm gonna do right now, I'm gonna do create data module, right? And I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do file save as, right? Where is that? Oops. Save. And I'm gonna do, now I have to do the team. I must do this one. This is a team content assignment 5 group work fall. This is my term, right? And I want to save it cars data module, okay? And don't worry, guys, about the Cognos team configuration, but the reason I showed you that little screenshot is because just conceptually, I want you to see that there are 2 demo users that belong to the same team. Okay, the cars data module, I'm gonna do the save right now. Okay, so I saved this, right? I'm the team member. What I need to do now, am I gonna be a bad team member or good team member? Let's better be good. Before I exit, I must close everything that I have saved in a shared folder, in a team folder, right? One thing is this, when you go to team content, right? Well, what you will see in here, you only see the folder for your team. If you see the folder that is not for your team, you need to submit the ticket, right? You're not supposed to see team 2 if you're a member of team 1, okay? Remember that, okay? If you don't see anything, and if your instructor was told that the teams were created, you're gonna put the Salesforce ticket, right? But to make sure that you're looking at the right place, right? Maybe you're not looking at the right place. So, well, in here, if you look at this, there should be, if you look at your account information, my preferences, there should be a way, this is a personal, and if you look at advanced, there should be a way to see what you're a member of, groups and roles. If you look at this, it's going to show you the groups that you're a member of, okay? Because sometimes you're gonna say, oh, Elaine didn't assign me to the group, but maybe the team not following instructions how to access the group, right? So in here, it shows you the group that you're a member of. Everyone means everybody in data 610. So this is your team, and this one, don't worry about it. This is just anyone who can log in, and this is your role. Everybody has the same role, okay? Role determines what you can do. This determines what you can do in your area, okay? So I went through long setup of this, don't worry. Okay, so this is the access that you have. And for instance, if your TA or Professor Moreta is going to have more. She's a member of all the teams for all sessions that she's teaching. Okay, so this is one way to see where if you actually have the group, it's going to be in the advanced, right? And capabilities just show you in general what you can do. So don't worry about this. This is a security. So some good news, you don't need to worry about that part. But I just show you just to make sure, because sometimes you say, hey, Elena did not sign me to the group, but maybe it's a student, maybe it's a demo user who's not following instructions to access the group. Okay, now, well, so this was demo 2, right? Demo 2. What I'm gonna do now is this. I'm gonna sign out. I'm gonna sign out, and I'm gonna log in as a demo 1, which was or just demo, right? This is another user, another demo user. Remember, I showed you I had 2. Well, so this user is logged in. Yes, the groups will be assigned randomly, but I will have to match everything in here. Well, whatever instructor says, I'm gonna match. But there is one more thing that I do. If I notice that somebody assigned to the group has not accessed the application for a while, I'm gonna be a monster. I'm gonna report it to instructor. No, seriously, it happened in the session 9040. This student assigned to a group has not accessed the application for a long time. If I see something like this, I'm gonna be a monster. I'm gonna report. Okay, well, I have to do it anyway. Okay, so I'm gonna look at this. This is the team content. Okay, what is this? Assignment 5 group work. Guess what? We're in the same team. What am I supposed to see right now? Same semester, same team. What is this? Those are the files that my teammate did what? Saved, right? And ultimately, well, look, I can create new exploration. If I save it here, then my teammate is supposed to see it, right? So here is it. And I'm gonna do create exploration, right? And I'm just gonna do just anything. I click on this. Well, you want to do something, just something. I want to do just something just to show that it works, okay? So here it is. I just added this exploration. And I'm gonna add, so this is just average cars miles per gallon or whatever. Oh, it's doing the total instead of average. Well, it does not matter. I have this one card in here, and I'm gonna do this here. I'm gonna save it as cars exploration, right? Cars exploration. But you want to make sure that when you work on it, right, you have to use a copy of data from the team folder, okay? Because demo user 2 does not see what's saved in a personal area of the user number 1, right? You cannot, you can only see what you share, right? So here, I'm gonna do cars exploration, but I need to save it where? This is the area that is assigned to my team. I saved cars exploration. Now I'm going to be a good team member. I'm gonna close it. You have to close the file because you're gonna get unexpected results if you don't. Okay? Because see, like you have the file open, you hold in the lock on it. Another person tries to modify it, then what's gonna happen? It's gonna be something that you don't want to know, okay? Well, will the team have multiple explorations? When you create multiple, you can create multiple explorations files, sure. But the thing is, you want your team mate to see what you're doing, right? You don't, if you do it secretly in your area, then your teammate cannot see it. But you also want to make sure that you use the same copy of the file as a source, because the data visualization, right? It doesn't matter, data exploration or dashboard. It's connected to the data source by ID, not by the name. So you have to be really careful here. You need to use the data set that is saved in your folder as a source. Because if you use the data in your personal folders, there are going to be problems when you start sharing the data. When you look at it, it's going to look okay to you, but it won't look okay to your teammate, because the data was built from the data that in personal folder. See, so in your content. So you have to be careful. You want to use the file that is located in your team folder. Okay, I hope it makes sense. Well, yeah, you can have a different file, but the point I was trying to say is that you cannot edit the same file. Well, you will have to have one data module, because you need to use the data where you apply the same data pre-processing, right? So somehow you guys have to agree. You have to agree on who is editing and when. To communicate, you may use Zoom, and there is a free version of Zoom. You may use Microsoft Teams, and you have access to Microsoft Teams as a student, right? Because you have the whole office. Okay. Oh, well, how to say, well, no worries. I mean, we need to learn how to work with people, because you never know. And on the job, you're gonna be part of multiple teams, you're on multiple assignments. So, and in fact, you're gonna need to do the video. I recommend we could use Zooms. And I have heard in the past, I've heard concerns of students posting videos on YouTube. Well, there is a solution. You have a Zoom, right? Zoom has a recording. What you do is you just send your instructor, you just give a link to the recording on Zoom. That's it. You don't need to worry about uploading recording to Facebook. Okay? Well, I heard this concern before. So you might use free Zoom account, limited to 40 minutes, but nobody's gonna do 40 minutes presentation. No. It should be maybe 10 minutes. No more than that, right? No more than 15 for sure. Okay. Now it's gonna be up to you to decide who speaks. But if you take in turns speaking, you want to work on a little bit on transitions to make sure that it goes smooth. Make sure maybe the same person shares the screen. So here it's a little bit of it gives you opportunity to practice. Trust me, you might need to record more than once and then submit the best recording. So you want to plan ahead of time, okay? So this is just showing you, and I created a video also on more details on how to do this, right? It's just an example. It does not matter. It does not matter what semester you're in. The same approach, the same thing applies. But I like to spell things out. Oh, this is going to be a big mess. I hope it's not going to be you. If you delete the data source, everything where you use the data source as a source will become invalid. There is no way to repair it. No way in the world to repair the work. Even if you upload the data with the same name, you cannot. It's because every single data source has a unique identifier, right? Well, so if you go to the team content, this is a data module, right? If you look at there should be a way to see the properties. Well, you're gonna see that it has, what is this? What is this? This is a unique identifier, right? And somehow your car exploration is pointing to this, right? Even if I delete this data module, it does not matter. Even if I recreate another data module with the same name, I cannot fix the car exploration, because I no longer have this. I no longer have this data module with this ID. See? So you must be very, very careful, okay? But before you delete stuff. Because if you delete the data module, trust me, I did it before. If you delete the data module, all your visualizations where you use the data module will become invalid. The change is permanent. That's it. So it's gonna be you. You're gonna be sitting, scratching your head, and you're gonna be screaming. So what can we do to prevent this? Take screenshots as you go, right? You can do that. Maybe sometimes you can make a backup copy of the work, right? Make a backup to your area, perhaps. Be very careful. Think twice before you delete, or perhaps maybe create a subfolder called trash. Put it in that folder first, so that way you can restore. There is no recycle bin, but you can create like a imaginary recycle bin, right? There are things that you can do, but trust me, I mean, we had that happened. The day when the assignment was due, somebody deleted something on the team. So please be careful, guys, okay? Because there is no way to restore. Sorry. This error, this is sometimes when you deleted something, it may not necessarily be deleted from your recents yet. So sometimes you get this error when you try to access something that was not deleted from recents, but was deleted actually. See, speaking of recents, remember this, when you go to the homepage, there are two options here. This is a recent, right? When you click here, well, delete will delete the object completely. Remove will not delete the object, but will only remove from recent, right? And just to show you, to finish this step in the demo, I'm gonna log out now and I'm gonna go back to as a second user. This one here. Oh, and see this? If I go to this one, if I go to my preferences, advanced, you're gonna see that I have the same groups, right? We're members of the same group. No worries. When it's time for you to start working on assignment, demo users will leave the group. They're in there temporarily because somehow I have to show you what they will be doing, right? Okay, so let me go ahead and I'm going to sign out. I sign out, right? Now I'm gonna log back in and this is gonna be the other user, the user I used earlier today, okay? Well, see, it's okay. Okay, so I'm gonna go back and now I need to verify that I see this is a team content. I'm gonna go back to assignment 5 group work. This is a folder and fingers crossed. Yes, it's here. See this? Not a thing. That's very simple, right? Sharing work is very simple. You can share, however, 2 people cannot edit it at the same time. Only one person may edit it at the same time. Okay, just remember that. And also another thing is that if you leave it open, if I do this, I hold the lock on the file, I might create all sorts of problems when my teammate is trying to edit it. So can we do this before we exit? Everything that you have here, go ahead and close it. Please, please, please close everything you have opened before you exit. Okay? Well, because you're gonna save yourself the rest of the night. I don't know the better way to describe it. Okay? This is a bonus example. Actually, I went over something like this. It's a calculation. You can write your own code if you'd like. Please, it's well, when it's time when you create a group or calculation, it generates the code behind the scene. It's very complex, but you can write something like this. And I think I have a video on something like this, a case table, right? I'm not sure about your programming background. You might have some, right? Well, next class, you will have a lot of opportunities for the coding. But here, just something simple, maybe if statements, case statements, something like that, not as complicated, okay? Now we're gonna have time for what? Questions, right? Questions, I like questions. And it was excellent questions about the palettes. So yeah, well, I try to figure out on the spot. If I can, then I have to do research. Okay, for assignment 4, you don't need to do the YouTube. You just do the screenshots and you're gonna do the paper, that's right. For assignment 5, you have to create the video, right? because see, assignment 5, it's several people, right? An example of how to create the video, well, the instructions, I believe they're in the classroom. Basically, what you will do is what I'm doing right now. You do the Zoom session, and one of you shares the screen. You're going to record. And after that, you go back to your Zoom account. You might need to wait a little bit depending on the length of the recording, and there will be a link. There will be a link to recording, okay? Well, I don't know if I should show you that, but well, see, this is a Zoom account, right? If you do, well, in my case, it's a Zoom umgc.edu, right? Because I'm a right, so I'll go sign in, and this is SSO, right? Well, so somewhere in a Zoom session, you're gonna have this thing recordings somewhere. You see this? Those are the past sessions. Those are the past sessions. See, here it says the session in progress, right? Well, this is a current session. So after this session is over, in about half an hour, maybe, I'm gonna see this button called share. And when you click on the share, right? When I click on the share, there will be an option to get the link, right? Well, usually I don't do this. I usually download the file and upload it to YouTube. But well, here you can do only authorized users can view, and you can send the link, right? So you need to play around with this, okay? There is a sharing information. Click click here on show scissors. Well, this is a recording, okay? And this is a passcode. Well, something like this. This was a assignment 4 session for the data 650, okay? Well, I have this recording, and this is a link, right? And this is what you're gonna share. Let's do done. I'm not gonna do that, but well, and this is what you have in progress right now, okay? This is how it looks like. Okay, no problem, no problem. Okay, so well, well, you're not gonna have UMGC account, you're gonna have a free account. Free account, there is a limit to 40 minutes, but trust me, nobody is gonna have the presentation longer than 10 minutes. Because if you do, then maybe you need to narrow down the topic a bit, if you will, something like that. Okay. So, and this means here, this is still in session, okay? So I hope it helps. Okay, and it's good to have a Zoom account, right, to show you how it works. So anything else? Oh, and let's say this, immediately after you're told that your teams are done, please, as soon as possible, check your folder access, because somehow session 9040, 9041, their assignment was due yesterday. They finished yesterday. About a couple days before their assignment is due, I learned from one person that he did not have access. Well, actually, he had access, but he was not following instructions to access, but it does not matter. But a few days before semester ends, he says that he cannot access his group folder. I go in and I check permissions, everything is correct. So it was student not following instructions, but it does not matter what the reason is. If we believe that you cannot see your folder, we have to know it immediately. We don't want to learn about it a few days before the class ends, okay? And then Abel, the TA, is gonna talk to me. I'm gonna check the permissions. If permissions are okay, then he's gonna work with you on how to access the folder. Okay, no problem, things happen. And there is also a video that shows you the steps, because by the time you get to that point of the semester, the memory will probably gonna escape, right? You will have to watch the session again, but it's maybe in more details, not sure. Or maybe every session is unique. Sometimes I show something to the other 4041 that I forgot to show you, or the other way around. Each session is unique, so same material but different. Okay, and nobody has asked me yet, but I'm gonna answer. Yes, you're gonna have a copy of the slides. Nobody asked this, but I'm guessing the questions. Oh, don't make this mistake. Please ask for help. people who don't ask for help make a big mistake, okay? It's not just this, that's also the case in a data 650. It's like the day when assignment is due, we find out that somebody could not read data or something like that. I'm just saying. We did not know anything about it. So things happen on the day when the work is due. So what does it mean? The person wasn't attempted to solve the problem on his own without looking for help, or maybe the person was not working on assignment. I don't know. But if I tell you it takes 10 hours, it doesn't mean that you can sit down on the last day and finish it, No. Okay, so please get into good habits this semester, because I think the courses I get a little bit more work progressively. Next class, I believe it gets like a little bit more readings, more work. Data 610 is a warm-up. Trust me, data 610 is a warm-up compared to data 650. Because you use here two applications, data 650, new application every 2 to 3 weeks. Every 2 to 3 weeks, you use something new. So it's going to be much faster. So this is a warm-up. So trust me. Okay. Did I say it right, Professor Moreto? Did I say it right? Well, I mean, yeah, because it's gonna be more and more and more. You're gonna be see, like, first course is the introduction, right? You get into good study habits, etc. Next one, well, to be honest, I never never took the second one. So yeah, but probably Abel is gonna give you more details if you need. But I'm familiar with this 630, 650. I'm familiar with this three. So anyways, you're gonna see me later in the program again. So hopefully. Okay, so more questions? More? Yeah, I would like to see questions. That's a good chance. Okay, well, if there are no more questions, then I'm gonna end the recording, right? And when that recording shows up, I'm gonna do the conversion and send you the link, okay? So, okay, most welcome, guys, and I hope you had a nice and productive session. Okay, so I'm gonna end the recording.